Welcome back to the channel, welcome back. So we've got some news here from Billy Joe Saunders, right? Billy Joe Saunders, or Belly Joe Saunders, as some people like to call him these days, has been in the news recently. He's been arrested, I could say. So I'm just going to drop the news to you. I know some of you have heard it, but I'm just going to run through it quickly and we're going to talk about it. So we've got a headline here. It says, boxing champ Billy Joe Saunders sentenced for hare coursing. Right, I'll read through the article quickly and we'll talk about it. Former boxing world champion Billy Joe Saunders has been sentenced after driving hundreds of miles to use dogs to chase and kill hares on farmland. Right, the 36-year-old, 36? I know he's not that old, is he? Who grew up in Hatfield was fined and ordered to complete a community service when he was sentenced at Lincoln Magistrates Court on September the 4th. It comes after sight dogs used for hunting were found in his possession, and videos of the crime in action were found on the phone of Saunders and his 3 co-defendants who have been sentenced this week. Right, so Billy Joe Saunders with a few geezers, and they've driven a few hundred miles up north, I believe, with some dogs, and they've gone hare coursing. So basically the dogs go out there, they find the hares and they rip them to shreds. It's illegal in England, right? So Billy Joe Saunders engaging in illegal activity, not surprised really, you know. But what's caught the attention of, I should say, the boxing fans and the news, the media, is Billy Joe Saunders' language towards the police, the total disrespect that he shows towards the police. He tells one policeman to F his mother, right? F your mother. And then he calls another policewoman love. I don't think there's anything wrong with that really, but you know, a bit sensitive, probably because of what he said beforehand. I will say this: Billy Joe Saunders got a lot of balls. He's got a lot of mouth. We saw how he spoke to Napa a few months back at the Tottenham Stadium when Chris Eubank Jr. was fighting Conor Benn. There was a racial undertones in what he said to Napa. I mean, I'm going to say it as it is. I'm not even going to beat around the bush. There was racial undertones there, which some people pointed out, but I couldn't be bothered to address it myself. Billy Joe hasn't fought for a while, right? He's overweight. That 5 million he got off of Canelo, he's been burning through it slowly. And there will come a time where Billy Joe Saunders would have probably run out of money. I mean, when I mean run out of money, he's still going to be a wealthy man, still got loads of assets and properties, but I'm talking about liquid cash to go out there and just spend cash willy-nilly whenever you feel like it. That's going to stop. That's going to run out soon. So, look, we've got this whole situation right now with Turki Al-Sheikh ploughing lots of money into boxing. He's bought the Ring magazine. They've got the Riyadh season. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren have come together, joined forces, putting on big cards. Boxing is strong in Europe, right? A lot of you've heard Dana White talking about boxing's broken. That's in America, not over here, right? So you keep your game over here. We got our thing over here. Billy Joe, 36 years old, I said earlier on. He's got a few years left. He's been out for a while. I think he's been out for like 3 years. These are the best parts. These are the times where he needs to be collecting that dough. He needs to be raking that dough in. He's got a fight with Chris Eubank Jr. That's the only fight I can really see on the horizon for him, Chris Eubank Jr. But what weight would they fight at if Billy were to come back? If Billy were to come back, what weight would he fight at? Probably cruiserweight. But the thing is, who could you cruiserweight, maybe light heavyweight? Who could you get him in there with? Remember, he's got fucking pillow fists. He's a slick fighter, Billy Joe, slick fighter. But when you put on that amount of weight, that's going to affect his game and his style. He's going to turn his slick fighting into a slugger, and Billy's not a slugger, right? He's a slick fighter. Get out of the way, hit and not get hit. That's Billy's style, okay? But when he's like 175, fighting at 175 or even a cruiser, there's no way that's going to work. I don't think Billy Joe Saunders can get down to 168, to say the truth. It'll take him a while. It'll be painful. It'll be a long struggle. It'll probably take him maybe best part of a year to get down properly. I mean, like properly and comfortably where he could fight, not just some crash diet where, he'd be depleted of his strength and everything. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think he's done completely? I think there's money to be made. I think the Chris Eubank fight's probably a bit too lucrative for him to pass it up, but he's got to come back soon. because time's passing by. You know what they say, time waits for no man. Anyway, look, leave your comments in the comment section, smash the like button, hit that bell for notifications to get all the new latest videos.